All right, everybody, welcome back to In the Mind of Music with Nate and Isa. We have Cyberstar, who formed in 2015. That's made of three amazing musicians known for vocals in Drowning Pool, drums in Alil, and guitar in Fozzy. So Jason Moreno, who's the Vox of Cyberstar, is on the show with us right now. How's it going, Jason?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? So you're just having success left and right. And I know that you're having a lot of success in your other band. What brought the project of Cyberstar together 2 years ago?
Billy and I met while we were touring in the UK, and I think it was just mutual respect for one another's talents and a mutual love of music. So when you're around someone that you respect for, weeks on end, it's almost an inevitability that you're going to work with that person. So,
Right.
we hit it off and decided to make a go of it, and we're still going for it. So,
So you guys met in Europe, right?
yes,
What
we
were you
did.
guys doing in Europe together at the same time?
We were touring. It was, I believe it was the first year I was in Drowning Pool.
Uh huh.
And we were touring the UK, and we did maybe a couple Germany shows with Fozzy. So,
How
Nice.
cool is that? Well, that's really awesome. So it's so amazing how many times you're asked about influences that help create the sound of your music. However, you guys found a whole new way to bring to the forefront your band's influences in the music video for Never Die. So here's my question. Was that a way to make a universal statement to all your fans who would be curious as to what made you all want to pursue music to begin with?
yeah, I mean, more of a paying homage, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just a salute to our heroes, and if by any chance we can turn, any new fans onto the things that influence us, and that's really what keeps this thing called music going. It's.
Right? Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, that's an awesome. I mean, Nate, I had to show it to him right as I got home. I was like, "You got to look at this music video. I've never really seen anything quite like that."
No,
So
it
it was
was
a really
really
good
well
tribute.
done, and I loved the graphics. Obviously, I love all the groups that you put on there. I was really excited to see, especially Jimi Hendrix and Prince, and all the late greats that just recently passed. Well, other than Jimi Hendrix, obviously, but no, it was a great video. I mean, I was just really impressed with the way it was done.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Great song as well.
Definitely a really great song. I like the edge. It's a
Yeah,
very
no
different
problem.
sound than Drowning Pool. So I like this for you a lot, Jason. It really allows to kind of like accentuate your voice in the different areas of what you can do with your voice. So right on for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. So as we have learned recording digitally, it can be done anywhere. So you don't even have to be in the same location as your band. You can even practice in different locations now. Cyberly, right? Kind of makes sense for your name, right? Um,
Right, exactly.
so let's talk about this with Cyberstar. How challenging or easy is it to go about recording and or practicing with each other now?
It is very easy
Mm-hmm.
to write and record because it's all, as you say, we don't necessarily need to be all in the same place. So, if I'm being brutally honest, all these songs were written, um, while I'm here in Texas and Dusty's in Florida and Billy's in Georgia. Um, that's how we wrote all those songs.
Mm-hmm.
So that aspect of it is very easy. He sends Billy sends music to Dusty and I, and we do our thing, send it back, and it just bounces back and forth until the song takes shape. Rehearsing is a little bit more challenging. We have to agree, upon a location, and either Dusty and I were flying in, or Billy and I have flown to Florida before, so that's a little bit more challenging, but nothing that we can't overcome. So.
I just, oh, wait, go ahead, Nate.
Well, I was going to say, so you guys are definitely getting together and practicing. I mean, it's something I know that with musicians that are extremely well versed and have performed for, as long as you guys have, I'm sure you don't have to do it too often, right? You guys just get together every once in a while.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We got together mainly just for the joy of playing together live. I wouldn't say that at this point it's a necessity. It's mainly just three dudes making music for the love of it and
Oh
Nice.
hanging
yeah.
out. It's really more of a brotherhood at this point. Nothing like I don't know. It's not forced. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's very easy going and loose, and
Hmm.
we're working. The scheduling is demanding at this point with everyone's you know gigs and getting it all to line up. So hopefully very soon we will be in a position where we need to practice because we have shows coming up, we have tours coming up.
Hmm.
So hopefully that's the next step for us.
Oh yeah. Well, it definitely shows in your music that you guys are, not forcing it, and that it's very cohesive.
Kind of
I
relaxed.
was, I mean, I like Drowning Pool, and I love that style of music. But the song that you guys sent over was just, I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I think your vocals really shine through more than I've heard before. So,
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, most definitely. I can imagine all the fans right now that grow more and more, um, you know, into your music. They're gonna want to demand, and they are gonna want to see you out on the road. So, you guys have been pushing around the latest two songs, which is "Never Die" and "Eye for an Eye," which are also available on music videos on your YouTube channel. That's off of the new EP. Can you give us a hint as to when that EP is going to be released? Or
Um, I think Billy would be the guy to answer that specifically, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's ready to go. I don't necessarily know why it hasn't been released yet, but maybe we're finishing the touches on maybe one more song. Other
okay.
than that, it's ready to go, and we have you know another batch of songs in the pipeline to complete the full length. So I think we're ready to pull the trigger on the EP. I just maybe we're putting finishing touches on one more song.
Okay.
nice. And it sounds like you guys have done everything yourselves. You've done all the editing, mastering, everything.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
A labor of love, if you will. I know that Billy really spearheads a lot of it. He writes a lot of the tunes and he does a lot of the legwork. I can't really take credit for all of that. Um, so I don't mean to push the question off onto Billy, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think he really has been the one to like he'll send me songs, I sing over them, I send them back, and then he takes them and gets them mixed and mastered. And yeah, I guess he's the boss. I guess he's
Well,
the
I
one.
guess we have to get Billy on the phone right now, don't we? All right, listeners, hold on. We're just going to get Billy on the phone real quick. I'm just kidding. But he'll listen to this interview and maybe it'll light something under him and like start pushing out these songs because how exciting after Never Die and Eye for an Eye. Some pretty good tracks there. So I'm sure that, fans are going to want to see you guys out on the road. So you're kind of touching on the fact that you guys are doing this all independently without ties to a record label. Are you guys thinking of doing that at some point, or are you just thinking, well, you have enough fan base with Fozzy and Drowning Pool and Alil that you figure that you can just relax
Right.
and do this independently the whole time?
I'm open to whatever's going to get the music out to the broadest fan base possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not for a label. I'm not against a label. I would definitely, entertain the notion of it.
Sure.
But I don't necessarily know if it's something that we're actively seeking right now. I think we're just really concentrating on the music,
Mm-hmm.
and being true to the music, and then not really getting ahead of ourselves. So song by song, step by step. If a label comes knocking, or if we, happen across something that is a good look for us, as well as getting our music to as many fans as we can, and that's definitely something we will consider.
Nice.
Okay. Fair enough. Good answer. um,
Pretty PC, huh?
yeah, yeah. I like it. You've been practicing on these interviews, haven't you? Since the last
No.
time we spoke. Okay. So, Jason, I hope you know how to answer this question, and I know you do. So, if you were to pick an overall theme of the band's music and message, what would that be to your fans?
Overall, well, I think you would get a different answer depending on who in the band you ask.
Okay.
For myself, I just want to represent freedom of expression. not necessarily pushing my agenda on anyone, just being true to your passions. If I could somehow inspire and lead by example, and yet not push my personal agenda onto someone, that's what I'm trying to accomplish.
Right on.
Nice.
Okay. So you're lucky. You know why?
Mm.
Because I'm going to ask you a question about the theme of the show. And the theme of the show tonight is whether or not it benefits a band to cover other bands' music. What do you think?
I have mixed feelings about this.
Okay.
I think it is all to do with the intent behind covering the song.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know I think people can smell a fake from a mile away, if that makes sense to you.
Oh,
I
totally.
totally hear that.
I think if you're just trying to catch a trend and on a bandwagon or whatever, but who am I to judge? I think it's a great way to pay respect if that's really the inspiration behind it. You have a love for an artist and you want to, as a musician, pay them respect in the only way that you know how, which is to cover their song. Hey man, do it. If you're trying to cash in on it, on someone else's art, then I'm against it.
Mm-hmm. So, like for bands that just kind of go around just doing cover songs and calling themselves kind of subtitles of other bands, what do you think of those guys?
I mean, like tribute bands.
Yeah, like tribute bands.
I guess I misunderstood the question.
No, I'm just asking
Um,
another question kind of in a different way.
oh, this is okay. Yeah, like I said, I guess it's the intent behind it. I mean, what do they say? Imitation is the greatest form of
Flattery.
whatever. Yeah. So,
Flattery.
I don't know. I don't see a big issue with it. I mean, it's all music and art, and we're all connected. So, I mean, as long as it's not malicious, as long as people aren't, out trying to hurt anybody with it, yeah, I don't see a big problem with it.
Cool. Well,
Not for me. I wouldn't want to do it, but yeah.
Well, thank you for expressing the mixed feelings about it. I know sometimes it's a really touchy subject for some musicians, so I appreciate the honesty.
I think, just to elaborate on my answer, I think if there are bands and they're cover bands and they're tributes and they do it well and they respect the music and they're pouring their hearts into it and that shows, then I'm all for it. But if it's fake and, the motivations are, be it greed or anything negative, then no, I'm not for that. Is that a better answer?
No, that's cool. Your answer before was just perfect.
Right.
So for those listeners who needed a clarification, there you go. All right. So I want to talk about your hobbies. What do you do outside of music to rejuvenate your creativity and musicality? I mean, the stuff that makes you go, oh, I got to write a song about that now.
Oh, wow. I read a lot. I try to exercise, just normal. If anything, I'm trying to unplug from music. Not necessarily looking for inspiration to write. I think that just happens naturally. It's not something that I try to force. It's really just therapeutic. I kind of check my brain, and whatever happens, and naturally it draws from experience. So, yeah, I read a lot. I go for runs. I play games, video games. Sorry. Just basic stuff. Just trying to unplug.
Yeah.
Play a lot of guitar, play a lot of bass, play drum.
Nice.
Basic.
So you're multi-talented, not just one instrument. That's cool.
No. I never wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to be a lead guitarist, but that was entirely too hard. So.
I'm with you on that. I love playing guitar, but I can't get into it that way. I'm more of a piano and saxophone guy.
Yeah, see, awesome, man. I wanted to play sax too, but again, too hard.
It's definitely. I've been playing it since I was 6, so it kind of added to the making it easier for me, I think.
Wow, that's awesome. I gotta pick that up. I gotta do that.
All right. So, Jason, anything else that you'd like to add about Cyberstar while we have you on the phone? Anything merch, where we can see your music? Anything you'd like to add?
Not necessarily. I'd just like to say thank you to anyone, looking our way or throwing an ear our way. I'm just appreciative of any time that people are giving us. So I'd just like to say thank you, I guess.
No, thank you. Thank you for making the music and being for the love of music, because that's a it is a common way to think of it, but then we also have like the struggling musician that somehow loses track of the love of music. So it is really, really nice to hear that you are about that and you're really relaxed about it and just doing it for the fun with your bros.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's just exciting to hear that, and also it makes it exciting to hear the music as well. But it's exciting to hear that you have such a connection with the guys in your group, because I think nowadays there's, one of the biggest issues I see in bands is that their members either don't get along or they've been touring for so long that they can't even really stand each other more than the little bit of time that they're there. So it usually ends up
Yeah.
causing them to walk away from music and they quit or whatever. But it's really cool to hear that you're doing your side project and you've got this awesome beginning. That's recording is great. Everything's awesome about it. I love the lyric video that's coming out. It just shows the love in itself.
And I appreciate that.
Yep.
That's really all we're trying to do is have fun and infect everyone with that. So there's no grand scheme or hidden agenda that we're pushing, and it's just music. We just want to have fun. So that's awesome. Thank you.
nice. All right. So we have the songs Never Die and Eye for an Eye. We're going to go ahead and play both of the songs for our listeners tonight. And that is from their EP that's going to be coming out anytime soon. So thank you very much for interviewing with us, Jason. Listeners, make sure that you like and follow Cyberstar on all social media platforms and subscribe to their YouTube channel to get upcoming notifications on what this band is up to and any visuals they will put out for your viewing pleasure. Again, Jason, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and see what you're up to. So just keep in touch with us, and I hope you're doing well. And thank you very much for calling.
Hey, ditto. Thank you so much for taking the time to have me out and talk to me.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Take
Have a
care.
good night.
Yeah. Later.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into Never Die here really quick. Now, I just want to lead in. Issa is right. She sent me this music video earlier today. It's a lyric video. And, I've seen a lot of lyric videos. My band just put out a lyric video, and I really tried to do something different because so many lyric videos are just like an image or, nothing and just the words coming across like karaoke. So I tried to add in, images, real video, all this stuff. And I think that it came out really good. But after watching this one, it really kind of opened up my eyes, in my opinion, on my creative side, to seeing some things that I could have done better on my video. Because this video, as you'll see, is just, it draws you in. And like you were saying, I love the homage that it pays to the people that it shows. So we're going to play the song Never Die. And make sure to check out that lyric video on their YouTube channel when you have a chance, Issa.
Yep, and you want to check it out now, just go ahead and go to our Facebook page, and the link is actually provided there. So it's the first link that you'll see there. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and play Cyberstar's
Never Die.
Never Die.
Here we go.